It's been 5 hours and you're still on this video? No, I'm waiting on this man right here.
Tears.
This beautiful man with a beautiful voice who said he wanted to talk about the DMCA stuff. Okay? So that's why I am here. We've moved on from that video.
I'm not really here just to reopen the wound and pour salt in it, but I think it's important we talk about what's going on. Last night, Pokimane was banned from Twitch. She was banned for watching Avatar: The Last Airbender on stream.
No! It's like I'm reliving that sad moment once again, hearing someone else say it. Fuck. No!
But she took it like a champ. She was making a joke about it, saying the Fire Nation attacked, but they're releasing her in 48 hours. So she got a 48-hour suspension for it. This DMCA was handed down by Viacom, the fucking boogeyman of the internet. You do not want to mess with Viacom. If you even think you accidentally saw a clip of something Viacom owns, make sure that you scrub every—
Remember when what's his face? Remember when fucking what's his face? Remember when Will got fucking clapped because of because he was watching a fucking clip of Samurai Jack? Can't believe I said what's his face to Will. Dude, guys, I'm old. I'm fucking old, okay? He watched Samurai Jack on YouTube. And by the way, that's not Viacom, but it doesn't matter. Those guys do not fuck around, is what I'm saying. They do not fuck around.
Everything. Call your fucking lawyers immediately and make sure when you go to bed, you're sleeping on your back. You don't want to sleep on your stomach in that case because Viacom will come in while you're asleep and fuck you in your ass. Viacom is ruthless with how it enforces its rules and its copyright. Viacom will go through your goddamn 8th grade report card, check your SAT scores, look for any parking violations you might have had, and they will just look for anything to slap you with and ruin your life over. They are truly relentless. You might not remember this, but back in 2007, Viacom sued YouTube for $1 billion. Viacom alleged that YouTube was engaging in brazen copyright violations.
They're fucking bananas, dude. They do not fuck around. They are woo, woo, woo. Goddamn.
Where they were profiting off of their copyrighted work with all of these creators uploading their material, which is illegal, and they sued YouTube. It took 3 years for the first decision, which was in YouTube's favor, but then Viacom came back. Some of it was overturned, but ultimately in 2014, YouTube did come out on top. But while YouTube may have won, creators still lost, because do you know what came as a result of this?
Content
ID.
The
automated copyright system, which is still being abused and broken to this day. This situation's super similar to what's happening on Twitch right now, with creators brazenly engaging in copyright violations where they're knowingly broadcasting copyrighted work in their entirety, and they know full well and openly admit that it is a DMCA problem and they just want to see how far they can push it. And when people bring up that this could have a bigger impact on the site than just their personal streams, they usually are just met with the streamer saying they don't really care. They'll just take the DMCA ban for 2 days and then be back like it's no big deal, which is a pretty selfish and silly take, because there is clearly a history they can look at to see how it negatively impacted the entire platform. I'll get into that a bit deeper in a moment, but just off the top of my head, if I had to quickly spitball a potential apocalypse, like an upcoming doomsday if this problem continues, I feel like Twitch might just revert to how it was back in like 2015, where they outright frown upon reaction content on their platform, where they don't really allow YouTube videos to be played and watched on Twitch. Back then, if I remember correctly, even some big streamers did receive like some warnings or even a ban from watching YouTube content. The meta for watching and reacting to content.
Why can't a video service like YouTube be nonprofit? It doesn't matter. First of all, obviously, capitalism. And secondly, even if something is nonprofit, that doesn't mean you can fucking stream works in its entirety, okay? Like, that doesn't... This is what I've been trying to describe to people, but like, this is something that people do not comprehend about copyright. Copyright does not matter, okay? Copyright, like, doesn't care if you're making money off of it. It's an aggravating factor, but that's not the real reason, okay? You can't, and also there's like hosting costs and shit like that. Obviously, that's part of the reason why you can't do that for not-for-profit or non-profit in general. Okay. It's because they lose money when a streamer shows the material. Technically. How would you balance copyright laws in a way that allows creative freedom while still protecting small creators? I think we both agree that, for example, Wizard of the Coast took someone's random elf art off Twitter and published it in a D&D book without permission. It could be wrong, and they need to pay them, right? Would it be different if they use it in an advertisement and not a product they're selling? I think that when a company does stuff like that, they absolutely should. They absolutely should pay the artist. Like that's GG's. Like that is completely unacceptable. Do not misunderstand me on this at all. And companies still engage in shit like this all the time, and that's really fucked up. What we are currently talking about is entirely separate from that reality, okay? We're talking about what is happening all day, every day. Where the fuck is Charlie? Oh, he just he's been waiting. Hello?
Hey.
What's good, dude? I was just watching your video. I'm 2 minutes and 49 seconds in, and you're fucking talking shit, dude. You're talking big shit. That's right. That's right, dude.
Did you like the part where I called out you directly? It's like, this fucking Hasan is a menace to society. We need to get his ass out.
I did not. I fucking missed that part. I haven't gotten to that part yet. Because, you know, I played, as always, it was, you know, I played pause and I walked away because that's how I usually watch because it's React content.
That's the only way to do it, baby.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. So,
yeah, so I just wanted to kind of come in here because I feel like people are getting the wrong idea of where I stand. So I just kind of wanted to clear that up real quick. So I want to make it clear. It's not like my heart's breaking for lost dollars to the Fox network or something like that. I was just saying that when you're pushing these boundaries, you have to expect this kind of shit to happen. Like, and I think you would agree with that. I think you brought that up to Ludwig as well. Like, when it gets pushed, it's obviously a problem. So that's really the main point I'm making, voice crack. By doing these kind of like obvious DMCA risks, it's a big detriment to the platform as a whole. It happened on YouTube back in 2007. Took 7 years, and now we have that broken copyright system. And I feel like with the meta being the react to this kind of shit, it's also dangerous on Twitch. Now, I also watched MasterChef about 2 years ago. I was a pioneer. I was a leader, not a follower. I love that shit. I also agreed with your take that if something's old enough, it should be okay to watch it. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you're promoting the upcoming stuff. That's the same point I used to make when I was watching it. But what I'm really trying to focus on is this pushing of it. Like, we know this is DMCA risk, but we don't care.
Yeah, it like full movies, no shot. Like shit that historically has always gotten taken down is absolutely pushing the boundaries. I think you and I are completely in agreement there. Where like the only reason why I started watching MasterChef I had not before was because it seemingly had a lot of people like a lot of people were able to watch it without any sort of scrutiny or anything like that. So that's why I personally thought it met the metric of like, yeah, it's probably not, you know, something that people are pursuing. You know what I mean? Like copyright wise. That's why I did it.
Yeah, and I totally get that. I always believed if it's being posted on YouTube, readily available for free as a free channel, and it's older content, I never saw much of an issue with it. Obviously, they still have the right to enforce it, but historically, they haven't. Until Twitch streamers started pushing it, where it's becoming like, maybe this is a problem. Because another take I see a lot of people mention is that streaming a full movie or a full TV show is a lot like streaming a game, where it's a promotion for the product. I totally disagree with that. I don't know where you stand. But with a game, that's a personal experience. Everyone's going to play a game differently. By playing a game that 40,000 people don't have, they might want to get it and play it for themselves. They're not going to have that with like a movie or a show, because once you watch it, that's your whole experience, and you had a better experience watching the streamer react to it. You're not going to go purchase a season of MasterChef 2 or anything like that, or go watch the new Spider-Man movie if your streamer watched it.
That's why I stay to that's yes and no. I stay to that principle whenever I'm trying to figure out if something is like really fucked up to stream on stream, you know what I mean? Where it's like older reality television that is either no longer in circulation, like Moment of Truth or fucking, you know, all these other things that we've watched in the past, like Black White, for example. I don't know if you've ever seen that one. It's a great show. All that sort of stuff I don't personally think is like hurting anyone because it's not even in circulation. and is fair game, even though it is technically enforceable. Like that is still absolutely a violation of copyright, right? Just like MasterChef is.
Yeah.
And the same goes for older seasons of MasterChef. I do think that the way I see it, single player narrative focused games are not even remotely different than, for example, watching a TV show. Well, not a TV show, but like an older season of a show where you can actually add commentary like MasterChef.
I mean, I can see where you're coming from. I personally do disagree with that because, like, Last of Us 2, that's like a full narrative game. I don't think there's a ton of people that are going to play Last of Us 2 for the sake of the gameplay. But when you play the game, it's different than watching a streamer play the game. Your experience, your playthrough is going to vary differently, like drastically different than whatever you watched your streamer play through, even though the hook is the story, which you can get from just watching a Let's Play. I just feel like when it comes to a game, it's always going to be more personalized, whereas a movie or a show, you are detached from it. You're just watching it. There's nothing more you can do to interact with it. So once you get that, you're done. With a game, you're in it, you play it, you control it. That's just kind of how I feel about that.
But it's like this, the Telltale games. Like it's literally.
We don't call those games around these parts. That's cheating.
Well, I mean, I play those a lot. Okay, I'm not a real gamer, so. But my point is that like most of these developers, like all of these developers, actually in unison, completely understand that there is a lot of benefit to having people play their games. Right. That's why they pay us to play their games.
Oh, of course.
And I think personally, what my suspicion is, like some of these other networks are probably going to be smart about it if they have like younger people in their marketing teams or younger executives and whatnot, and recognize that this is a way to breathe life into old IP that is like at the verge of expiration or at the verge of cancellation. You know what I mean? And say, yeah, no, you can watch our old shit. It'll start off with like independent content creators, you know, people that make YouTube videos and whatnot, and say, yeah, of course, watch all of that. We don't give a fuck, right? And then I think it will even move into network television in certain circumstances. And the problem usually is obviously like international IP. Like that's the biggest burden for platforms, because people always say like, why can't Twitch just buy licensing fees and shit? It's not that easy. It's not easy at all. As a matter of fact, it's
also
very
never
hard.
going to happen. It's too expensive as well.
Yeah, because like that's why watch parties are region locked, for example. Like, because if you're in a country where that Twitch Prime has not purchased the licensing fee for whatever we're watching, then you're not going to be able to do that. That's part of the major problem in this situation, from the point of view of the brand or from the point of view of the network or platform rather.
For sure. Yeah, so I just want to break, like I have to go here pretty quickly, which is I'm a little out of breath. So I've got to head out in a minute, but I just wanted to quickly give like a full summation of my point before it gets misconstrued again by Twitter or LSF or YouTube.
I mean, I'm sure they're on your side regardless, dude. What do you mean? It's like most people are shitting on me. They fucking hate whatever my take is usually, so.
Nah, I don't know about that, man. I think in a nutshell, I think when a property does get old enough, I think MasterChef maybe falls into that gray area where the earlier seasons, which are readily available on YouTube, I've never found a problem like with streamers, you know, transforming that content. Of course, just making like a 24-hour stream of it, dog shit. That's not good. That's a problem. But using that like as a transformative piece of fun, joking content, I've always been okay with that. I personally think it's very restrictive what they allow. For example, another show I used to watch on stream, I actually finished, there was another Fox one, it was I Want to Marry Harry. Would highly recommend. It's about a bunch of ladies who are convinced that an actor was Prince Harry.
Oh, I started watching that.
That show slaps. That show fucking slaps.
It's so good. Yeah, I started watching that and I stopped it. I gotta get back to that.
It literally only exists on YouTube from like these shady uploaders. Of course, big DMCA risk. But it's one of those shows where like they don't have it anymore. So why would they try and enforce any kind of copyright on it when they're not using it? That I agree with that, but I do think that the pushing, watching full anime, watching Lord of the Rings uninterrupted, watching big movies, all of this is a really bad deal.
No, you and I are in agreement there for sure, 100%. Like, I've been doing this for years, so have you, right? We've both been like watching stuff like this on stream for many, many years, and it's a lot of fun for the people that are involved. I personally think that like it has a positive, a potential positive benefit. It can, like in the same way that video games do. Like I'm not doing it because it's good for the fucking you know, MasterChef IP overall for its like newer seasons or anything like that. But I have always tried to stay under the barrier where I'm not like, I'm not putting up a fucking movie and watching it raw. You know what I mean? That's crazy. It's like not gonna happen.
Actual lunacy. Like,
yeah,
there's a lot of delusion right now where I've seen a lot of people defending it as fair use or it promotes the movie. That's where I totally disagree. Watching a movie on Twitch doesn't promote it. No one's gonna watch a streamer watch a movie and then go buy that movie or buy tickets to see that movie. That's never gonna happen. So I don't think it could ever really be compared to a game in that regard, where you watch a streamer play a game. You're like, I want to play this fucking game now. It looks great. Doesn't happen with a movie. Bad example. Those don't compare.
Yeah, no. I had never heard of Lord of the Rings, but now I'm actually going to go and watch it. Like, no, it's not. But by the way, but the promotional aspect is there though, and that's precisely why, like, you know, they promote Arcane, and you know,
yeah, I think
Twitch paid me to watch Borat on stream. You know what I mean? Like that's.
Like, I think that's great. I'd love to see more of that, because what they did with Arcane is exactly what I think could happen with MasterChef, right? They'd be like, hey, look at how good our first 3 seasons were 80 years ago. Why not, you know, watch this with your stream? We have an upcoming season. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Everyone's happy. You get some fun React content. I also want to defend React content. I think the shit slaps. There's nothing more fun than kicking back with friends and joking about some shit. Like,
oh yeah, 100%.
The content is fun.
Yeah, people get mad at that. They say it's low effort. It's low effort, but it's like fun. It's fun as fuck to just like. I would never. I'm sorry. I would never watch MasterChef on my own. I've tried to watch some of these shows that like I watch with chat. I would never in a million fucking years watch it on my own. I can't. Like it's not the same. I'm there for the chat. Like I love going back and forth with like 46,000 people, basically when we're watching it together.
Exactly. I mean, that's the fun of it. You are watching it with friends. You are joking about it. That's the fun. Everyone's had that experience, like in real life, where you kick back, you're watching fucking Pawn Stars or Swamp People with your boys, and you're making jokes. You know, maybe you get some brewskis and you're having fun, right?
Yeah.
That's what makes the content enjoyable. I just wanted to clear this up because I didn't want anyone to keep like bastardizing the point I was making. I'm not trying to suckle on the teats of DMCA in Hollywood. I'm just saying, like,
did people think that you were saying that?
Yeah, I got a lot of that.
Oh damn.
I just wanted to make that clear. The problem is that when it gets pushed on Twitch to this point where it's like getting fucking crazy, watching full Death Note, watching full Naruto, what can happen is what happened on YouTube, where there's this automated system that really fucks everybody. I don't think that ever happened on Twitch with an automated system. What I think could happen is it goes back, and I said this in the video, I think it goes back to like 2015 Twitch, where they really openly frown upon YouTube content, and the way that people used to do it back then is they'd have to put the game as the big screen, and then the YouTube video is a small screen on the side to react to it. I feel like if Twitch feels like they can't trust the streamers to police themselves on watching content that makes sense, that isn't just a DMCA fucking landmine, they might just be like, look, we won't welcome YouTube streamed content on Twitch anymore. And that's what I would hate to see, because that would hurt everybody.
Yeah, no, I agree. I really, I do wish that people would dial it back a little bit and, like, you know, engage in reaction content like everybody else does. Everyone does this in a way where it like makes more sense, that it doesn't like whip the entirety of the internet and Twitter into a frenzy and turn around and like fucking, you know, because if you're pushing the boundaries, you're absolutely going to, you're asking for people to do something about it. And I think that that's unacceptable, because it cucks everybody. It cucks me. It cucks the person themselves. Like, I don't think, and being old is not the only reason, chatter. Naruto is old. Avatar: The Last Airbender is old. No, there are certain IP holders that are incredibly protective over their IP. We know this already, okay? And Naruto itself is still in circulation on Netflix as paywalled content. Most anime is like paywalled content that Crunchyroll or all these other platforms are literally purchasing the licensing rights to, and they are litigious. What we are talking about is like older seasons of a TV show that is either no longer in circulation or is sitting on YouTube with like hundreds of thousands of fucking views, which implies that they could have directly went to the source and eliminated that, right? But they didn't. And the reason why they didn't implies that like they are not as litigious in pursuing copyright on YouTube. That's my metric usually for what I believe is like relatively acceptable, still in the gray area, but like relatively acceptable to watch on stream.
Yeah, and I think that take makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I gotta go pretty quickly, but I just wanted to come in here and talk at least a little
This
bit.
is great.
All right, man. Well, have a great rest of your stream, and take it easy, everyone.
All right, peace, dude.
Yep.
Okay, that was MoistCr1TiKaL, aka Charlie. I think most of the content creators, especially ones that have come on so far, like Ludwig and Charlie, like we're all in agreement. Especially because like there is like an invisible line, and crossing that boundary puts a lot of people at risk. I don't disagree with that at all. And I guess there are some people who believe that any kind of, they don't understand, they make unreachable viewers the potential. Yeah, that doesn't matter though. Do you know that Fox isn't going after for the MasterChef YouTube posters like they did you? Yeah, that is actually interesting. DJ Weed actually wanted to talk to me about DMCA a while ago. He said, I'm fairly certain that fuck around and find out is not a good business strategy for anyone. For deeper context, intelligent risks and experimentation, good. Fucking around and finding out, bad. Yeah, again, it's all dependent on what you consider to be fucking around and finding out. You know what I mean? What's the difference between this take and reactionary slippery slope arguments? Death Note, that Naruto, or 2000 animes, what makes them different than MasterChef, the company that owns them? This whole thing isn't POC Bruno. There's a lot of gray here. Like, yeah, I mean, look. At the top of the hour, there is a 60-second ad break. You're right. That's not gray area. That's black and white. You're right, chatter. Okay? It's not a slippery slope. You will slide down that slope and watch an ad for 60 seconds. But if you want an ad-free broadcasting experience, all you need to do is subscribe. Come on, Hassan, call out Pokey Toast and Rich. They were the ones that were absolutely pushing it as a big streamer. I mean, I already have. I mentioned specifically the types of content that people are watching that are unacceptable. I think you just want to fucking clip something out so you can post it on LSF once again and like continue farming fucking drama. These people are still my friends, and I think that like, you know, it's all right. You know what I mean? It's not like fucking the end of the world. So, you know, suck my cock, you stupid fucking clip chimper. Why do your subs throw snowballs if they supposedly don't see ads? It's just a meme. IP rights holders don't want to spend lawyers if they know the defendant can't pay out of a judgment. Deep pockets will always get sued though. Yeah. Bro, he's talking to you. You are fucking around and falling out. Okay, so here's the thing. I've been fucking around and not finding out for a very long time. Okay? As a matter of fact, everyone on Twitch fucks around and finds and doesn't find out, okay? Or falls out, whatever you want to fucking say, chatter. I was responding to the chatter in the way he wrote that, okay? That is a part of content creation on the internet. That is the beauty of the internet. The real question is, what are you going to do now that you can't watch MasterChef anymore? There are a million different things that we can watch. For example, Fox does claim the revenue from videos about Hell's Kitchen / MasterChef on YouTube, though. Stan said he gets all his rev claimed after a couple of days. Oh, I did not know that. That makes sense. Oh, fuck. Before I forget. Yeah, I forgot to run the ad break here. We'll continue with this Moist video. I want to see the rest of his take. Even though we heard from the straight we heard from him straight up. I face when streamer replaces one reality show with another reality show. There's a million different things that we can watch. I will not be touching like anything MasterChef related, obviously. But we have Moment of Truth. We have the Harry one that we were watching. I forget where it was. We also have a million different things that we can watch on YouTube that are also Poggers content. Like there's a JonBenet Ramsey video that just came out. Funny how not a single clip from the past 2 combos with Lud and Charlie have shown up on LSF, because LSF has a narrative on its own. And the narrative on its own is fuck Hasan no matter what the fuck happens. So if there's anything that is like a pro LSF streamer, or like a streamer that is always upvoted on LSF, if anything like that ever makes it there, it destroys the narrative that I'm a piece of shit and I'm a bad person. So of course that's not happening. If anything, they'll look for basically whatever kind of fucking content they can post to like drive a wedge between me and other creators. So anyway, here's the 1-minute ad break now. I worked on a Disney project about content protection, how they track infringements on various platforms. They literally have built custom tools for people to submit or snitch that will automate these takedowns. I'm sure all these companies will have similar platforms too. Yeah. Oh, I forgot. This one is funny as fuck. Hey, the Oi Bros with their jetpacks. We've seen this before, but this is like going viral again, and I want to show this to you guys. This is so fucking stupid. Here. Oi, bruv! You stop this fucking ship, you hear me? It's so good. So fucking good, dude.